Okay, it looks like we are live. So welcome everybody to Battle Arena. This is Ugly Tuco. Today I'm joined by Valm and the Lanzolini. So go ahead and say hi, guys. Okay, it looks like we are live. So welcome everybody. That works too.
What happened?
Nothing, I had background audio going. I'd just like to welcome everybody to Battle Arena. Battle Arena, of course, is just an event where the Trinity Force Network just hosts a custom game, and anybody from Gold through Bronze can come and join, and you play out the game like a regular solo queue game, and us three here hosting it will try to give feedback and advice to you guys, and in the end, hopefully everybody learns something and has fun. Rule number 1 for Battle Arena: do not use TeamSpeak, Curse, Voice, Skype, or anything of that nature. We are trying to replicate or simulate in some way Incapacity solo queue. Just so try to take it and treat it seriously as such. Rule number 2: don't harass or be mean or be a jerk or ruin the game for other people. If you do witness somebody harassing somebody else or purposefully throwing the game in some way, go ahead and send a screenshot and send it to us. We'll take care of it right away. And rule number 3, of course, is have fun. And with that said, it looks like we already have all the bands out and a couple of the first picks. I was wondering if you guys had any thoughts on the first picks here.
Oh, well, my first question is, what channel are you streaming?
T-Force Network, I believe.
T-Force Network or T-Force Podcast?
I'm on T-Force Network.
That's a thing?
It is a thing! I thought we were all switching to it. That's interesting. Yeah, T-Force Network is a thing. Let me...
A surprise. Oh, yes. It's online.
When did this happen?
It happened a while ago when we were,
I know that Photophobia made it, but
yeah,
he like set it to go because we just had Twitch doesn't allow you to kind of change your channel, unless you're like super important. Like we couldn't keep all of our followers. We would have to make a new account. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I don't think it'll matter too much. I don't think most people who are watching this are either playing or participating, so I think it'll work out. Yeah, that should work out. Probably. So yeah, we are live at Trinity Force Network on the Twitch channel. Back to the game. I see Skarner, Riven, Mordekaiser, Garen, Aurelia, and Gangplank banned. I kind of agree with all of them. I don't really see a problem with any of those bans.
We'll see if Tesla picks up the Darius, the last standing juggernaut.
That was
not banned.
Yeah, he did get a little bit of love this last patch. He's a little bit better than he was last patch. I haven't seen too much. All I've seen are just YouTube videos of people who are 5 levels up dominating, but that doesn't really give a good indication of how strong the champion is. But
Reddit's always right, Tuco.
Reddit is those Reddit detectives.
Always right.
They're the best. Going on. Let's see. I'm not exactly. It looks like it's gonna be. I want to say Articuno, but I know her name isn't Articuno. It's Anivia. Anivia versus Malzahar.
Versus Malzahar. Not a bad matchup for Anivia. If she's able to get those early trades with the snowball and the ice with her E. I forget the name of the E, but yeah. Though Malzahar's better all-in potential for sure.
Yeah, it looks like she's going to run with a barrier, which might be helpful, maybe?
Might help against those all-ins.
Yeah.
But if...
either that or heal, one of the two.
If Malzahar gets ahead enough, then you won't have time to use it, because you're suspessed and you're dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Suppressed, not suspessed.
Suppressed, yeah. And it looks like top lane is going to be our own Zion Spartan here in top lane versus oh my god, the Crocodile. I can't.
Yep.
Renekton versus Yasuo. I'm not very familiar with this matchup at all, to tell the truth, but
yeah, I'm fairly sure Renekton would totally dumpster the Yasuo.
Renekton's a lane bully.
The same feeling, yeah.
You can get in stun, trade, and with the Q heal, dash back out before Yasuo.
I have a feeling Yasuo's going to be playing underneath turret for a while.
But if the Renekton's smart, he probably shouldn't push too hard because he has CC, and so he could follow up a jungle gank really well.
Yeah, and Yasuo doesn't really exactly have the best escape pattern.
Yeah, like his wind wall won't do anything versus via Renekton.
No, nothing at all. Speaking of junglers, looks like... Wait. Oh, it's Malzahar jungle. Yeah, okay. Yeah. You'll see it switch here.
No, okay.
Yes, Tucker always does this. Unless he forgot, which would be hilarious. No, he switched.
Oh, okay. Right.
So he's running...
That totally threw me off. I saw the Annie pick and I was like, oh, that's support, and I forgot Sona was picked.
Yeah, I forgot about Sona. But, yeah, it'll be AD jungle Malzahar. I saw it in Earth a couple times.
Lot of things for their mid lane matchup we just discussed. Actually, not too much, actually, because Annie does have that all-in potential, just like Malzahar. But the barrier would probably come in more handy if you're able to use it as soon as your stun ends. Because you're probably going to get hit with a barrage of fire instead of just one massive spell and an ignite.
I think Cleanse would have been a lot better than Barrier on the Anivia. Both the Sona and the Annie stun.
She probably just assumed she was going to face Malzahar and forgot about it. But yeah, Cleanse versus Annie is very helpful. Sona ult too. Yeah. And I believe you can cleanse out of the knock-up from Yasuo as he's ulting you, but you still take damage. Or something along those lines. So. Yeah. Moving on to bot lane. Ashe Thresh versus Sona Vayne.
It's going to be pretty pokey lane coming from, at least the poke's going to be coming from the Sona, and I guess the Thresh is going to try to poke himself with his auto attacks, but it's all going to be about that hook.
It's a little, yeah, it's a mishmash of, you don't really see Sona and Vayne together, I feel like. Ashe kind of just, early on, I feel like, can bully Vayne around a bit. She has a longer range, she has a slow she can apply, and her W can really harass well, but at the same time, Sona can kind of... Yeah, I think Ashe and Thresh can really go in and kill Sona pretty early on if she gets caught by a hook.
Yeah, it does depend on if they're flying aggressive enough to go up there and flay them or hook them. Because if Ashe tries to do that trading stuff with the slows and her W, then Sona can just bash back at her with the Q auto. And it does a good amount of damage. And then she can just heal herself and Vayne right back up with her heal. So it's going to be less about trading and more about those like miniature all-ins where they land the hook and the flay and they get a bunch of damage off, but they don't really have the kill potential to really kill them like pre-6.
Yeah.
So the way that Thresh Ashe should be working is that they kind of like land a hook or a good flay and get a bunch of damage off, then kind of back it off.
I'm not exactly the best bot laner, but from what I've seen, most Threshes tend to just AFK in lane. So, like, if this ends up happening, the Ashe could be really trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the...
I like Thresh a lot, and that's the way I like to play, is I bring the Ignite, and I go in there and try to land get to level 2 first, and go for the early kill as soon as possible, because the flay and the hook is just so strong against someone who's level 1.
It's, one of the best advice I've gotten when I was, like, trying to improve and climb up the ladder and support was not necessarily being always aggressive in lane, but being in a position where you can, you know, harass with autos or, you know, be constantly looking for an openings where you can get a favorable trade. So Thresh, he'll take a lot of damage early on while he's up there kind of being a front line for Ashe, but it'll be worth it because it'll allow Ashe to harass both Vayne and Sona. And yeah, just be aggressive. I guess to say one thing I've said a lot is have presence in lane. Don't be a bystander. You especially can't be a bystander as Thresh. Sometimes you'll see it on somebody like Sona or Janna, where they kind of just chill back and shield.
Throw a heal on somebody, throw a shield on somebody, throw a tornado sometime.
Yeah, but it's always usually better to be up front harassing, being that wall for your ADC.
I kind of like the exhaust Pegasus Summoner spell because they are up against a Yasuo
And a Vayne, yeah. Exhaust is a good run.
Yeah, pretty strong carries that go out there, pump out a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Having them exhausted can really, slow them down during a fight.
And I think Sona can also... She could throw... I get the targets she'd be looking to exhaust her would be, I guess, Renekton or Vi. Both of them are...
Depends on who's fed. If there's like a 9-1 Renekton on the other team, yeah, that guy's probably gonna get exhausted.
Yeah.
You have to see if that turns true, because he is up against a Yasuo.
Yasuo. Any moment this game is gonna start, I feel it. Oh, we gotta wait a bit. It would be a shame if Sir Tesla's power went out.
Sure. I haven't seen much of the jungle Malzahar with the AD. I have seen videos of people dunking with it, though.
I've seen it used in Earth, and slightly outside of that.
Oh, yes. The little void creatures do.
You kind of have to have a large mana pool to pull it off, because you have to be constantly spamming spells to have your Voidling out. And yeah, but once you throw that E or the Maleficent Visions, yeah, once you throw that on an enemy and your Voidling starts attacking, I believe the Voidling scales off of your attack damage, so the damage you can throw down, especially if you throw E on somebody and then ult them, and then your Voidling attacks them while your ult's going, your dueling is actually kind of weirdly strong. Team fights are a little bit of a different story. You're kind of looking to make a pick as someone with AD Malzahar. You're not going to throw consistent damage out of a team fight. I feel like your Voidling will kind of be ineffective. So you'll just
depends if it dies or not. I mean, the Voidlings are... If you're playing a regular game against regular AP Malzahar, no one really pays attention to the Voidlings because they don't matter. And that might be fault, because if you're not paying attention to the Voidlings against AD Malzahar, next thing you know, you got a little, void creature that's chopping on your ankle and taking away all your health.
Yeah.
So if they realize what the power of AD Malzahar, they'll make sure to at least try to kill those little void creatures. They're not too tanky.
Yeah. It's looking unfortunate that we might have a disconnect here. But you guys are still in the loading screen, yeah?
Yep.
Alright. Off to a great start. In terms of the skin wars, I guess that would be blue team. Comes out ahead.
Though they do probably get negative points for being Team Foreskin.
Yeah, they are Team Foreskin. Oh, there we go. It's crawling up. We're up to 77 now.
Apparently everyone's in game, but Thresh is AFK.
Thresh is AFK. You wouldn't have
According
guessed.
to chat.
Megla! I swear to God, if he's in WoW right now, trying to juggle both, I'm gonna be a little upset, just a little.
Oh, they pushed through that UI update for Spectator, huh?
They did. I'm not about to see. I'm about to see it any second now. I feel it. There we go. Yeah. Ooh, looks spiffy. Alright.
Here we go.
Alright. Looking at...
They apparently have a pause for 3 minutes from now.
Oh, okay. For Megla. Or the Thresh, I should say.
According to chat.
Yo, where is my moderator, though?
Yeah, I wish I had 2 screens. That'd be so nice. I should probably...
I do, I can see it.
Alright, good.
I can mod. If only Lanzobot was finished.
Still in development?
It's in like pre-early alpha.
Pre-early alpha.
It like joins, and then you can run raffle and trivia, and that's kind of about it.
Oh boy.
Still a lot of things left to build, but it's gonna be sweet when it's done. took a long time to integrate the login with Twitch. You have to like log in with your Twitch account, which took a long time to figure out.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty neat that way. It keeps all your information up in the cloud, which is also like new age.
Yeah.
And there's the pause.
There's the pause. Let me see if I can give him a poke. Oh, he's not in World of Warcraft anymore. What the heck? Alrighty then. Guess we'll just have to wait. We'll wait a little bit.
He shows back up.
You could look at the mini-map. Ash went out into that tri-bush. That looks like a little bit of a invading ward there by red side. Near their enemy's raptor camps. That bush there by the jungle entrance.
It's good ward, but also risky.
It is a little risky.
If you go by yourself, then that's kind of past the point where you go toward it, and there might be enemies in there. Basically, at the river line is the place you can be with knowing that like you can get there, and the enemy will get there at the same time. With a ward like that, you know that you can get there, and there can definitely be an enemy there before you. So, take it from a guy who's got blitz pulled. 1-5 many times.
I like how Anivia is kind of positioned out there at the jungle entrance, and then Ash is in an alright spot too. Annie's just kind of sitting at mid lane, which you can kind of be out at mid lane, as long as you
hang out in the little banana bush, kind of like by the pixel bush over by Dragon. They're able to kind of spot out anyone that's going to come try to ward the pixel bush themselves.
Alright, looks like
there we go, resuming.
Thresh is back. Alright. I wish I could reposition. Oh, go ahead.
Though Vi is starting with the Gromp instead of with the bot lane of the Krugs.
Yeah, maybe she's...
I hate starting top lane on jungle, because not only does get a Wisp leash, but makes your top laner fall behind in the XP.
Yeah. Well, would you say Renekton's capable of starting a camp by himself and then teleporting up to turret early on?
Capable, I think.
I think if he started Doran's, that would be better, but since he started Clop, all he's going to do is buy the pots back and maybe...
Okay.
If he was gonna start camp, he should probably just go Dorian. But since he's behind the
just
XP.
a leash.
Yeah, and you're also starting a camp, so he'll probably have an advantage.
Yeah.
So it is taking him down kind of low. You should be able to take it down though. Pretty good for Yasuo to get that level 2. It's going to be a tough lane up there. Good to start out at least a level up.
It'll last a while, but yeah. And it looks like Renekton he kind of pushed into the lane a bit. If you feel like your enemy top laner's starting a jungle camp, I think the advice is to try and draw aggro of the creeps as they're walking up to your line and try to, draw their aggro of like 2 or 3 and then dive into a bush. That way their lane ends up pushing because their focus will be on one minion and they'll effectively push towards your side of the lane. But, yeah.
Yep.
Something
Wave manipulation.
Yeah.
Also looks like he's going for an early trade but misses the tornado.
Yeah, already.
Bot lane seems to be going kind of the way we predicted. Thresh taking a lot of damage, but Ash being able to put on a lot of poke, but also the Sun has been able to heal it right back up.
Nex is missing a lot of CS.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the Malzahar jungle now working on the Krugs. Not doing too bad, he's still alive. Little Void creatures really pack a punch. Though I believe it's pretty hard to gank someone 3-6.
It is. Jungle. It is difficult. But it looks like the Vayne's showing some good aggressiveness there, pinning Ash against the wall.
A lot of damage.
Preventing any sort of trade back.
Here comes the gank, a little bit too far forward at that point.
Oh, wow. That's the button I wanted. Alright.
They had a ward in the bush over by there.
Yeah.
When they're that close to the turret, it's almost worth it to try to get a lantern in instead of walking all the way around. Early game like that, not too many bot laners put their ward up in the tri-bush just because River's a little bit more dangerous.
Alright, so look, I was gonna say Jungle Malzahar already bought his intermediate jungle item. Ooh. As Anivia gets some, yeah, trade down. But I think Yasuo's about to get a kill here.
He's gonna get first blood here. And Flash blown by the Renekton.
I'm not exactly sure how. I think you just might not know how to deal with Yasuo or how to trade effectively with him.
He also didn't use his health pots.
Yeah.
Well, he used 3 out of 5.
One thing I'm already seeing that Malzahar just placed a really deep ward here. He had like the top jungle for blue team is all warded out. So if I ever goes up there, red team will know where she is. So those are some actually pretty good wards to have. Like it's the whole top side of the map is actually dominated by red wards. Yasuo is really safe right now, like ridiculously really safe.
Especially with first blood. He's pulling a lot of damage on the Renekton here, but he is still level 6. He hits this tornado, it might just go in. And there it is. Just barely out of turret range, will get it. There he goes.
Oh man.
It's a good all-in. You don't want to, especially dying first time, you want to make sure that your ult is up. Especially when you're going that far down into the wave. Oh, good hook onto the Sona. Probably not the best to go in. That Vayne does have a lot of damage.
I think they just have less effective health to go for an all-in at this point. They have to be a little careful, try to get their CS, and if they can get a hook under turret, that might be an opportunity to go for, but other than that, they should probably be playing pretty safe.
That hook was a good hook, though, but the thing is, you don't have to hit the Q again. If you land that hook, that was close enough where you can just walk up to and then flay them, so you don't have to get right within melee range. That way you're able to stay a bit safer and also get the flay off. So, you don't have to go all the way in just to get the flay. You can just kind of walk up.
If I had taken some enemy raptors here, Malzahar might be able to get there in time to do something about it. He doesn't have ulti, but if he...
but he gets the flash and it's chilling smite. Flash is blown. Oh, there's a fight going on in bot lane again, but it looks like it's going to be a death for... Nope, it's not.
Yeah,
very close for Thresh.
Barely walks away. Ashe is still walking up after that, but I feel like they just need to go back and they're at a pretty.
Hooks,
I don't know if Ashe has used. Her heal is down, so it would probably be best if she just went back, lose a little bit of CS, but not give up a kill.
Definitely some good hooks. Yasuo is probably at the point where he's snowballing. Renekton is not.
Once again, Renekton and Yasuo are kind of duking it. I don't know if Yasuo just kind of surprised him there, or that's snowballing very dangerously out of control.
Yeah. Looks like the lane went into the complete opposite direction we previously thought.
Yeah.
Which was Renekton be kind of putting Yasuo on the back foot. In fact, Yasuo's putting the Renekton on the back foot. He does get that double. He got that double Dorans for that early start, probably to counteract the pressure that Renekton can put.
I'm still a little confused.
Like, the Yasuo started Dorans and the Renekton started Claw. So like the Yasuo built to win lane, while the Renekton like to survive lane.
It's true.
But, like when the game starts, you should probably be looking to win the lane and not just able to survive. So there's probably a bad call on the Renekton cloth instead of like say a Doran shield or blade.
And it looks like he's building into.
And like he's really far behind. It looks like
he's
still doing damage.
Yeah.
So what probably Renekton's next step is probably not to push this lane out. I don't know if it's gonna. No, let's see here. Looks like the lane's pushing in.
There you go. That's a good.
That cannon minion's gonna.
That should be a kill.
Yeah.
Yasuo doing the good thing that top laners should do when they're totally stomping lane is to roam and transfer your lead into other lanes. Very good tornado though. Just barely got him on
There's
the edge.
been very little effect on this game from the junglers so far. It's been all top lane.
It's the only. I mean, there has been some action.
I'm not so
Oh.
sure about Malzahar's build, but he's going.
Does need that mana, and he's constantly using spells. So.
Nice teleport by Renekton.
Yes.
I
Oh.
don't think that teleport was necessary.
It probably wasn't necessary to get the kill, but might have been alright to help him get back in game. But Yasuo's gonna
Yasuo's
clean
here.
this up very hard.
Necton had stun there. I don't know why he didn't stun the Yasuo. He's
Still stunned right now. They should just get out of there.
Oh.
Like, while everyone else was playing bot lane, is still farming.
Yeah.
80 carries doing what 80 carries do.
It was kind of nice to see both supports collapse into that area where everything was happening. That's what you really gotta do as support. You can't just AFK in lane, as we were talking earlier. If you see something
Oh,
going on,
dive,
yeah.
and he gets it.
Huh.
Oh, I'm just looking at Malzahar's stats. I think he has 26 AP, 7 now, but he's building AD. I'm not actually sure
Think he
how.
built. I
or
think
what he's
he
doing.
gets the AP runes for early damage. You'd figure if you're
I think
gonna run
attack speed would
AD,
be
just
better
attack
than the
speed.
AP.
Yeah, it might be more effective for him for his
Oh, man,
first
looks like she
clear.
might be in trouble. but
'Cause
just tumbles over.
The only way I see him getting that AP is for help with early clear, and attack speed reds might help more. But yeah. Yeah, so teleporting in to keep the pressure up and on.
It looks like Malzahar is trying to ward up that side of the jungle just to keep the Yasuo safe while split pushing up here. Or not even split pushing at this point, still really early in the game.
Malzahar actually has magic penetration, like PDR blue.
Nevia's doing an alright job mid lane. She's really far behind on, like, in terms of trading mid lane, but her CS count is really, really low.
Yeah. And she's gonna get all in.
Yeah.
Probably know how much damage the opposing laner does before you get into range.
Yeah.
If you know they can one shot you, then you should probably not do
Yeah, it's a very, very scary to go up against a Nanny who's got that Tibbers. If you get into range, you could die. See the swirlies, just leave. Just do not get in range. Even then, he can still be screwed.
One thing I would have liked to see from Vi is to maybe gank mid lane. Annie really has no escapes besides flash and her stun. I feel like that might have been an easy kill to set up with Anivia. I realize things are really out of control at this point, and that it's like, oh, it wouldn't have made a difference. But just like for things like lanes to look to gank for, Yasuo, Annie, those are both pretty good ones to go for. Even like I feel like every lane would have had a good opportunity to be ganked early on.
Yeah, the
She
Yasuo
did
is the
attempt
only
one
one
spot.
that can really get away, but he's got to have minions to dash to. So if he's kind of pushed in, then he is viable to ganks because he won't have the minions to run away with.
By the time Vi hits 6, I think the Necton is already...
With the
moved.
auto before
Yeah.
ulting, okay, that's interesting to say the least.
Might be a kill. It is. The bot lane also doesn't have very many.
That was a very mechanically intense move there by Yasuo, I feel like. That's,
Vayne and Sona also don't have very many escapes. It's good to gank that lane.
yeah.
If I would have Vi, I would have seen that Necton was really far behind.
Oh.
Pause.
Probably not gankable because it's so squishy and does no damage at all.
Mm-hmm.
And bot lane, you have so much gank support with the Ash Arrow and the Thresh CC and Lantern, so I probably would have looked to gank bot as soon as it hits.
I agree, totally. Lantern is such a useful tool for those ganks. Even very useful pre-6 as well. Or we'll get in the right position.
Renekton's building Black Cleaver. I actually like that item a lot on Renekton. The CDR is so useful.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys saw anything build-wise from anybody so far.
Pretty standard.
Pretty standard coming out from
Yeah,
Vayne and
Malzahar
Ash, except
don't
Ash
have to
did
worry.
start with the Avarice Blade first.
Yeah, that's... Ooh,
Nice
nice
hook.
hook.
I'm also not too sure about the TFS on Nvidia. I probably would have gone Chalice for the probability.
Ash gonna get
A bit of MR.
killed here.
Ash, where is she?
Down in the tri-bush. She got
Oh.
stunned against the wall from the Condemn.
Oh, yeah.
It's tricky to play against a Vayne. You have to make sure that there are no walls behind you ever.
I'm not exactly sure there's too much blue team can do at this point. Drag the game out for 50 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, at this point it's all about kind of warding up and trying to get the farm you can.
Na'Vi right now is very low on mana. Vi should recognize that.
Yeah, and Yasuo is really strong at this point.
Yeah, that was not a good fight to pick. At this
I
point,
think
the
Turtle
fights
thing
that
is-
you want to try and get happening are underneath your turret. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
nice.
box. Even
they
though
got-
Annie tried to flash over it.
They got a little bit back there, but their fights are gonna have to be so in their favor to make it back. They're gonna have to fight under turret
There's
or
a lot of farm on the side of Annie over Nivea. And Vayne over Ash.
Every single lane's got outfarmed.
Dragon not coming up for a while.
Yeah, if Red Team wants to close this out as quickly as possible, they're so far ahead they could probably just group as 5 and win, or they could just have Yasuo split push. They have actually a lot of options.
Well, they do. The issue is that Nivea does have a lot of wave clear with her ultimate. She can kind of just cancel out a wave, and Red Team doesn't have that kind of siege potential with an AD carry since Vayne is so short range. But they are enough of a threat that they might be able to just pull it off anyway.
Yeah, I would say.
Problem with Nivea's build is that all she has are mana items, so
Yeah.
it waves too effectively.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Red Team, they really are. I feel like they could just split with Yasuo and then look for a pick with the other 4. Annie, Malzahar, Sona, they all have something that can lock somebody down long enough to get that pick. While nobody on the other team can compete with Yasuo. So if he goes out and split pushes, they're gonna have to send multiple resources to go and get him, and the rest of the team could just push down the other lane without any hindrance whatsoever.
Looks like they're about to
Yasuo-
try just that. They're grouping up as that 5.
So Renekton's going for a Sunfire Cape. I probably would not do that. The Sunfire Cape is really bad.
Yeah,
It's really gold inefficient, and you should probably never buy it unless you're playing someone like Shen who needs wave clear.
yeah.
Probably go like a Randuin because Yasuo will crit a lot.
Yeah, Randuin's now reduces crit strikes, yeah?
Yep.
Yep.
Gave it a brand new icon, and I can't recognize it.
Yeah.
It's been so long. I mean, how many years have we been seeing that Randuin's Omen icon, and now it's different? Looks like Red Team's gonna get a pick.
Yeah, there's the pick.
Yep, there it is.
And easy pick to make. They could probably just force down this. They don't have any of their side lanes pushed out, so it's gonna waste a bit of time.
Yeah, they don't need to be grouped up as 5. They could use the Yasuo as a split push just
Yep.
because, you know, like
They would-
we said before.
I feel like that would just be the quickest way to end the game for them. Like, I don't know where Renekton's going. Is he gonna try and push out and get that top tower, I guess? Just
I
concede.
suppose so. Yasuo does have teleport up, so if he wants to save that, he can.
Yeah. My team isn't even gonna try to get this tower. Alright. Hopefully they regroup and come up with a better game plan, because they did get a pick, but they weren't able to capitalize on it at all.
Yeah, they did only kill the Vi. They didn't kill the forms of wave clear, which would be Anivia's, Anivia's stuff, or even Ash's, auto attacks and W can kind of kill a wave pretty quickly. Their Vi doesn't, do anything to the waves, defend any turrets.
What red team could do right now is get some wards around Dragon and in the jungle area, bot blue jungle area. They could get some wards in there in preparation for Dragon coming up. And then just have Yasuo split push top. I mean, he won't have teleport, so he won't be able to help join in a fight, but he could really.
Not a fan of Yasuo's boot choice. I probably would have gone Mercs.
Yeah, especially with Anivia and Renekton stun and Thresh. Yeah. Yeah.
Ash.
Also Ash ult.
Ash ult, yeah. No, Merc Treads would have been a great choice.
Yeah, the attack speed boots.
Really greedy.
Yeah. Though I do like the warding coming from the blue side. They have been putting the pinks and swooping their own jungle, which is the way to be playing once you're behind. Make sure that your own jungle isn't warded so that you don't go walk into a bush to take a camp and all of a sudden you're dead. It's going to be a fight, battle for vision over here. Over by the dragon. The blue team has to be very careful when trying to take out these wards, because they know
Anivia's going for blue right now. So blue team really can't contest this dragon. I don't think they could, even if they had all 5 members, to tell the truth. Should be a free
They can
drag
hope
for
for the
team.
one pick on someone that's out of position. What might be the play here is for Renekton to split push top and try to at least trade that turret for the dragon. But it looks like he's kind of hanging out in the jungle. So when you're behind, they always say you need to be able to trade objectives. If their entire team's taking the dragon, then you should at least try to push a wave and get another turret, just to trade for that. This trading is better than them getting it for free.
Alright, looks like we got a little bit of... They're pushing out the side lanes finally, looking to pressure all 3 at the same time, hopefully. Vayne's gonna split push, that's fine.
Maybe it just extended too far. Go for the blue buff and got another ult.
Oof! Ash barely gets away there. Looks like they'll be able to pressure mid and take it at least. If they wanted to, they could take it. What happened to Vayne? Oh. She backed. She could be pushing and pressuring bot tower right now. Oh well. Or she could have joined up with them mid and they probably would have been able to take that tower with her there. I'm not exactly sure why she backed right then and there. Oh well.
But she was AFKing and base with Anakin.
I don't know, they really could have ended this game already. They're just not ending it.
This bottom has no. The team should probably just set a posture on that. They're all just leaving.
Huh. Also having a little bit of trouble. Not able to compete.
Renekton on a rampage.
Oh, but Annie comes back and gets a kill on the Anivia.
The team just got 2 picks. I don't know why they're running around that side jungle when they could have just went back for Baron.
Baron, yeah. Oh, they're wasting so much time.
It is also so early in the game that, you know, for a lot of teams that they're not like super far ahead, don't even think about going for the Baron. So just keep it in mind. If you're this far ahead, just straight up go for the Baron, even if it's only 25 minutes in the game.
Nope, Sona and Vayne are gonna go mid and hang out. They're gonna just go hang out. They're not gonna try and do anything. Alright.
It's a problem I see a lot with Pro is that like when they have an advantage, they're just gonna end around and not do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have a lead, you have to be proactive about it and try to enforce things.
Yeah. They're being proactive right now, which they're so far behind they really shouldn't try to be proactive and out this far.
Like
They're going for these picks.
The team is doing like what red team should be doing.
Yeah. Exactly. They know they have it's 5v3 right now if they just choose to go mid.
They do have better team fight. To a degree.
This game.
And everyone's so far ahead, they probably win it for sure. I mean, Anivia's at 79 CS. We're down for the Anti-Tibbers and the Yasuo ultimate would just kind of clean up the fight.
What is Vayne doing? Oh, taking Grump. All right. And now backing. Yeah, let's not try to.
Classic.
Ooh. Renekton almost able to get a kill there. I've been actually a little impressed with Renekton being able to. He's been managed to stay slightly relevant in this game. Even though he was down, he has the most CS on the team. That really shouldn't be the case with how far behind he fell.
Yeah, it's good for him to notice that since Yasuo has been kind of like leaving top lane and just going around the map of the rest of his team for him to try to, you know, try to trade that objective of top lane with whatever else. Which is good.
Alright, now red team, they've all backed within like the last 2 minutes. They should be fine item-wise. They need to make a concerted effort onto any objective that's big. So like Baron.
She should probably just like flash stun and end the fight right there.
Yeah.
She flash stuns there, she has 2 people. It's not one of them.
Okay, they got Dragon. I guess that was one objective they could have focused. Oh, looks. Yeah.
Should be able to get the pick here, but Annie just flushed out. Nectar should be able to take her down.
Oh man.
No. So close.
Yeah, Malzahar roams up at the right time. There's Vayne.
Ooh, that's a very close fight.
It is.
But Red still comes on top.
They killed them all. That was an ace. Go, push mid. Or Baron, I guess. No, guys! Guys!
Well, they're getting some turrets.
Pushing top is the better option because then
Everyone's
Yeah, if they try to take inhib turret, they probably might have died actually. Especially considering Vi is up.
They can just take this in here and probably go back.
Yeah. No home guards I'm seeing from the other team.
They're still trying to build their items.
They could technically take Baron here. Like, damage-wise, they wouldn't have a problem taking it. And I don't think blue team is going to react fast enough at all to contest, so... They had
also does a lot of damage.
yeah, and they have 3 wards here in the jungle that they can see if they're coming, and they knew they weren't coming, so good play. Now let's see if they can actually do something with Baron.
Oh, the flash hook does get her.
It does.
It's going to be there to back her up, though.
Ooh.
Some good hooks, but just not enough damage to follow up. Anivia just has only the 5 stacks in a row and not much else.
Yeah.
Not a lot of damage coming in there, and Renekton has to get in there within melee range. Just going to get there really in time.
Red team could easily just force down mid here. That tower, I believe, already has some damage. Yeah, it's already at less than half health. Yasuo will split bot.
Really hard game for blue team to just control at this point.
Yeah.
They have super minions crashing down the top lane, and no one really has the damage to really deal with them.
Yeah. So yeah, just keep a couple people mid, push up the wave, let Yasuo take bot for free. Like, if they keep the pressure up mid right here, Yasuo can just take that turret bot. And I don't know why Anivia backed here, because that just, I feel like that just handed in the tower if Vayne walks up and autos it. Or not, that works too. They can wait, they can wait another
Ashe also
wave.
has a little bit of wave clear there, so.
No, Vi, I don't know if that's a good idea to... Ooh. Come on, guys. Walk up and hit it. Or get a pick. You have stun. Look, the Anivia was so far forward and Annie didn't stun. She... Oh. I mean, she might not have been within range. Her flash is down, but... Anivia at half health was just walking right out here.
This is probably going to cost blue team the turret here. Yep.
That's gonna cost them the game, to tell the truth.
Yeah.
Ooh, it seems like red team has been breaking the rules. 3 other players are in TeamSpeak.
3 of their players are in TeamSpeak! Guys!
Tara, Ander, and Stalker are all in TeamSpeak.
Oh my goodness. Guys.
Why you do this?
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm gonna have to talk with him. But yeah, red team took way too long to finish that game.
Well, were they in TeamSpeak after the game ended? Is that even allowed?
No idea. All I know
Hey,
is I was notified that
We moved in. Tesla said they moved in after the game. I mean, whatever, but yeah, that was an interesting game to say the least.
A lot of snowballiness going on.
Yeah.
Yasuo 14-2 and 10 with 314 CS definitely took the game right over.
Wee Little Seal says they weren't in TeamSpeak during the game. He made sure they weren't. Okay, so that wasn't a problem, I guess.
Yeah, that's not an issue. I mean, that you could check the TS logs if you really wanted to.
Yeah. I guess we could go over the details, match history. But I mean, by like the 5-minute mark, I guess that's when Yasuo got like 3 kills in a row on Renekton. And I didn't. I'm trying to look for the first jungler interaction I see, and it's at the 9, almost 10-minute mark, where Renekton catches out Malzahar and gets a kill. But otherwise, I'm not seeing Vayne. Or not Vayne, but Vi. I saw one gank.
weren't very active.
Yeah, I saw Vi go bot once, and, you know, apply a little bit of pressure, but beyond that, both junglers I would like to see more early. And I guess with AD Malzahar in the jungle, you're not going to find too much early pressure, but still. We'll take a quick look at wards. Thresh placed some, Sona placed a lot. Yasuo placed 19.
It's definitely a good amount for a top laner without a Sightstone.
Yeah.
He has the warding totem though.
It's true.
It
They have
was-
the goal to buy that early and place him down.
There's a lot of pink spot by blue team, which I like to see. And Nivea bought... Okay, maybe 5 pink wards is a bit too much as a mid laner. Especially during that game.
Yeah, that's 500 gold.
That's a lot of gold to be putting in. But Thresh had a lot of pink spot, that was good. I mean, everybody on their team kind of warded a little bit. I would like to see a bit... And Vi did destroy 8 wards. They just didn't have a lot of opportunities, I feel like. We could go quickly through each one. I think we're going to keep this one pretty short and start getting ready for the next game here pretty soon. But what did you guys think about Nivea?
Oh, the biggest problem I saw with the Nivea was her build, where she went tier into Catalyst while her team was getting pounded pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if your team is losing that hard, you shouldn't go with the ramp build, and you should probably go with an item that will combat stats.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely needed that wave clear to come in big earlier.
Yeah.
Nivea's really good at defending those turrets because you throw down the ultimate and the minions just melt away. Not having that early damage probably also cost her a lot of CS too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she fell behind in CS. She tried to trade effectively with Annie in lane, and she didn't respect Annie's all-in either when Annie had 6 and stun. So that's something to keep an eye out. Practice last hitting with the Nivea. I'm sure we can find Horse Doctor's guide to last hitting somewhere, but if you're playing a control mage, like, last hitting in CS core is extremely important. You need to be able to keep up in that.
Troll mage. Is mage.
Talk about freeze mage, tempo mage. Is there a mech mage around somewhere? Victor, evac mage. Oriana's a mech
freeze
mage.
mage.
Oriana's a mech mage, right? Alright. The Ashe build, pretty standard, but starting off with the Avarice Blade is just a little bit too... It's like ramp, you know what I mean? Vayne is pretty weak early. If you're able to get that early AD, you're able to kind of out-trade her and do lots of damage with your W since it scales pretty well. Having that early Avarice does help you out in gold, but
Mm-hmm.
you're right that the bot lane was pretty even. There was no reason to really get that up because if you're like really far behind, your turret's dead. It's kind of a good idea to pick up that Avarice Blade just so you can kind of farm it and stay safe. Because if you're able to freeze a lane down by like your inner turret, then it's gonna be harder for them to come down and to kill you or contest get CS. So you're able to kind of farm safely and get more gold from the Avarice Blade. But when you're even in lane, it's better to start off with the AD. And other than that, standard build, you know, get it, Berserker's Greaves and IE and all that junk.
Yeah.
Okay, on to Thresh. Let's see. Kind of wondering about Frozen Heart. I mean, the Aegis is pretty good against the Annie since she was doing really well, but
Yeah, Frozen Heart
Yasuo was doing a lot of damage, and Vayne was also doing a lot of damage.
and Malzahar was going AD, so
Yeah.
I mean, I guess in the end he did mixed damage if I look at his stats. Yeah, he
I
still
actually think Mikhail's would have been a better item.
yeah. For the Sona or Annie stun.
Yeah, the Annie stun, the Sona stun, and the Malzahar suppress.
Does it remove Malzahar suppress? I forget. It might.
I think so. That and QSS, and the Clan Summoner spell itself does not, I don't believe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, either of those items have been good. I don't know, it was kind of funny seeing Blue Team be so aggressive and trying to make picks out way outside their base when they were like 10,000 gold behind.
Ooh, Mikhail's actually does not remove us.
Oh, okay.
No?
Response spheres.
Is it only QSS then?
QSS removes all debuffs.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Alright. So,
Supports get shafted again. Renekton's build, trying to get that Bomby Cinder, didn't even complete into the Sunfire Cape.
Yeah, he decided to go Last Whisper, it looks like, at the last second, which I don't see much armor being built on the other team, if at all.
Yeah.
So I don't really see why he built that. If you wanted to go offensive item, would you guys say, like, I don't think you should have gone offensive item.
Yeah, I'd say probably that kind of far behind as a Renekton. It's kind of like, well, time to go tanky.
Yeah.
And he did get some tank, with the health, but there wasn't much backing that health up.
Yeah, and if you're gonna go offensively and you see they aren't building armor, would you guys say Bloodthirster or Brutalizer?
I mean, Hydra's a pretty good item.
Or Hydra.
You get that. Animation cancel. You can auto W Hydra. Because animation cancels your W.
Yeah.
You can get a lot of damage off that way. So Hydra's a pretty good item. Though I don't know about the Titanic Hydra doesn't have an active, right? That new one?
Yes, it does.
It does?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't play much.
I believe it
I don't
does.
play any champions that actually use it.
One of the main problems I saw with Renekton was first his starting item where he went Cloth 5 was like in lane Renekton typically is stronger, but with his starting items really do much because he was building to survive instead of building to win. And then once he got behind, he bought more damage with it looks like 2 long swords.
Yeah.
Died for the 3rd time is when he had more tanky items, but even then he with the Black Cleaver. I think it's really good on Renekton because the armor shred's nice, the CDR is nice, and it gives you some slight tankiness. But afterwards, that Bomby Cinder, I'm not really sure like what he was thinking when he bought that because Sunfire is a terrible item. And then it looks like he went into Last Whisper after.
Very niche, yeah.
So like his build was sort of like all over the place and didn't really have a goal in mind.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Like so if you're gonna start Cloth 5 and then you get killed, you should probably build some more armor, like or upgrade that cloth into the best. But since he did decide to go Cleaver, it looks like he had 1,000 gold for the Bomby Cinder in the same bag. He probably should have gotten either like a Giant Spell or a Wooden Mail. And probably completed that into a Randuin's instead of building a Last Whisper. The boots.
You did get the long swords, I think, on that first back, and so
Yeah, that was
went
after
for
his
the
first
damage.
back, I think. And he also probably should have upgraded his boots a lot before because the Ninja Tabby works really well with this auto attack centric champ as well.
Alright. Cool.
I like going with the Warrior, but the Warrior enchantment is pretty good if you're able to provide that early pressure since you're able to do a good amount of damage with Vi. So you gotta be able to make those ganks early, otherwise it's kind of still a little bit squishy because Cinderhulk is really, really good on being tanky, but if you don't use that Warrior enchantment effectively, then it's kind of like, would probably rather have Cinderhulk.
The problem I see with Cinderhulk on Vi is that it doesn't make you like a threat at all.
Yeah, the only thing that you're able to use for is your ultimate. I feel it's kind of hard to judge because if you're not able to provide that early pressure as Vi, might as well do something like use your ult on somebody and not die immediately.
During the early pressure, if I were to Vi, I probably would have looked at all my lanes to see which lanes had CC to follow up on a gank with, and every single lane has CC. So she probably could have done some pretty easy ganks early on with the Renekton with point and click on the melee, or even the Anivia Q, which is actually has a pretty large hitbox. So probably could have gotten in an early gank, or at least blown a flash, and then if you continued farming and get 6, and then just gank that lane again because Chandelli has no flash because she burned it earlier. And at 6, the Vi gank with ult, if you don't have flash, you basically get free kill.
Okay.
But by the time Vi got 6, like both mid and top were pretty far behind, so I probably would have caught there. But well, once you try.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more pressure put down in the bot lane. There was that one gank, but it just wasn't very well orchestrated. Since both Vayne and Sona are pretty squishy, and they don't have any escapes. Let's count Tumble.
Yeah, looks in chat. Renekton also had a bunch of pots in lane, and he did. I forgot about, but that was the case. I remember in his first death, he around like 2 or 3 health pots left over that he never used. So if you're fighting and you're down health, you should probably pop the health pot because that's health.
Okay.
Down to like a sliver, you just.
Alright, want to move on to Yasuo?
Yeah. Can you go ahead and do that real quick?
Pretty good build. I mean, you got the static ship early, which is really good for that split pushing since he had all that, advantage. The Infinity Edge makes him a pretty good damage monster. I really did like the roaming. You get that far ahead in lane and then move over to other lanes to kind of transfer that lead over to your other lanes and help them out. Because you're able to really, shove in your top lane and then go somewhere else can really, provide your pressure to the rest of the map instead of just in one lane. So I really like that coming up from the Yasuo.
One of the problems I see with Yasuo's build is going Bork. I actually think Bloodthirster is a better item than Bork on Yasuo. Thoughts?
I'm sorry, you have to repeat that. I was like in the middle of inviting people to the next game.
I was just saying that I think Bloodthirster is a better item than Blade on Yasuo.
Yeah, if you're gonna get Blade, it'd have to be early on in the game, I feel like, to help you transition, or to help your early game. But, I don't know, you see a lot more people building Trinity Force 2, Yasuo.
For the split pushing. It'll shrunk down those turrets. Yep, Vayne with a good, standard stuff. Going with the Bork first, really good. The attack speed and really helps out with their kit, and you get that bonus AD from using your ultimate, so you don't really need to go for those early attack damage items. So it's a pretty solid build. Not really much to comment other than that. Standard AD carry stuff, standard Vayne build. They didn't really need any wave players, so she went for Phantom Dancer.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at how much armor the enemy team has. I guess Renekton has a little bit, and Vi had a Warden's Mail, and I seen other cloth armor from Thresh, but I'm not seeing a lot of other.
Right. I mean, it might have been better to go for something like maybe a Bloodthirster.
Or even Infinity. Yeah, Infinity Edge Bloodthirster would be cool.
Infinity Edge, forgot about that item. Yeah, that's an item. That would probably be good too.
Yeah.
Synergize as well.
Especially with Phantom Dancer. But, yeah, good build for the most part. In lane, she and Sona were able to trade pretty well. I saw Vayne use her knockback a couple times on Ashe to prevent Ashe from trading back, and that's what mainly it's used for in lane. You usually go for the wall stun when you're it's like just easy and given to you, or if you're going all in. And it was nice to see you like a 1-hit, 2-hit knockback, apply that proc, and don't give him a chance to respawn. So that was cool to see. Upgrade Trinket, and this goes through all of Red Team, but you guys were so indecisive for like a good 15 minutes of that game, when you could have been just securing towers and closing out the game pretty easily, I felt like. But
yeah, Renekton shouldn't have been able to go up and kind of split push that lane and be able to get that turret.
Well, even if he is, you see him, you can just act as 5 and quickly take whatever you want because you're so far ahead. But I think if you go back and look at the replay, you'll see why I specifically call out Vayne a couple times, I think, for just backing or, not continuing a split push, even though she's so far ahead and really strong and you kind of know where the enemy team is. There's very little risk of continuing on to get that tower. But other than that, good game. And we'll go ahead and move on to Sona.
I don't know why she's building Iceborne.
Yeah.
Against Ashe and Nibia, get that Mikhails.
Yeah, Mikhails would have been really, really good. It'll allow your 2 fed carries to carry even harder. Yeah, and
they might have gotten the, what's the new one? Zeke's Harbinger? Put that on Yasuo or Vayne and ton of damage.
Yeah, Zeke's Harbinger would have been good too. But yeah, the Mikhails would have just been. It just fits perfectly with Sona 2 because of the chalice that you can build. It builds out of it. It just fits Sona so well for that specific instance.
Yeah, true. Oh, mana regen. Mana regen is pretty good on Sona. You're able to spam out those abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not the most versed in 80 Malzahar jungle. So, anyone want to take point on going over this build?
Oh yeah,
One
go
of the
ahead.
biggest things that I saw was with the Rampage. I think he had Magic Pen Marks and a CDR Blues and AP Quint. Going for an AD Jungle Malzahar build, you should probably go with AD Marks or attack speed and attack speed Quints.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted the AP for the early clear, you can get that AP from the glyphs. Because you're probably not going to take much magic damage in the jungle.
Yeah.
And also, I think the masteries were a bit weird as well. Let's
Alright. Yeah, no, it's 80 Malzahar is
As far as
Pretty
builds
meh.
go, I think that's I guess that's a good build. Tier allows you to constantly spam those skills, abilities, and get the little voidlings out. And then
CDR might have
on
been
top
a
of
good
that.
option too if you're looking to go 80 Malzahar, just so you can use your abilities more often and get those voidlings out. But
Well,
Yeah.
I think you should look at your masteries. It looks like you took recovery, the health per 5 mastery instead of the tough skin, which reduces the monster damage. If you're jungling, the tough skin is a lot better than the
Oh
recovery.
yeah,
Because that'll save you 1 damage per attack, while recovery will only heal you 2 every 5 seconds.
right. Okay. Annie's build. Good Roa starts. Roa's pretty standard. Luda's
yeah,
also
I
pretty
feel
good.
it's so weird because I hear a lot of people who are pretty different on their opinion of Rod of Ages on mid laners and whether or not it's good on Annie, and I feel like it works.
Yeah, I feel like it works too. I mean, she doesn't have that she doesn't have an escape, so she's kind of prone to getting murdered. And if you
Yeah.
have that extra health, it would scale better with their Molten Shield, which does give her some bonus stats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So having the health stacking on from that, and her mana costs aren't too high, so she doesn't really need anything that's like she doesn't need like a Merlinomicon or a Chalice
Yeah.
really. Just kind of getting that flat mana on her is pretty much good enough, I think, in my
Mhm.
opinion. Looks like
Alright.
she was going for Zanya's next, which is that's pretty good. There was a lot of hooks being thrown out. She did get killed almost a couple times with some good thresh hooks.
Yeah, if she like if this game was going on longer and like she reached 3 offensive items and the game was still going, then like if you're looking for a defensive item, Banshee's Veil might not have been a bad pick here against that enemy team. But you were so far ahead, it didn't really matter. So
Right. Also, the we would have liked to see a little bit more flash initiations, flash tibbers.
yeah, we saw some
Very-
missed
kinda
opportunities there. Yeah.
definitely. Going home guard, definitely didn't really need the home guard boots there. Not a lot of reason to get that since you didn't really need to defend the base or run out quickly. Distortion boots, definitely a good buy. That way you're able to, flash tibbers more. I get that a lot on Annie and make sure I'm able to use the flash more often because it's such a hard engage and difficult for the enemy to deal with since it's so instant.
Yeah. There's a comment like the hook where there was no damage to follow. I don't know, I felt like there were a couple hooks out there where it's like you guys shouldn't have been engaging at all. And if you guys are so far behind that if you go in after a hook you automatically die, as though you don't always have to follow up your hook. You could always just
Yeah.
keep it there, throw some poke out, and then back off, and make them.
It's like the Thresh mentality to Mad Life and make plays. I do it all the time. Make like a sick hook through 2 walls onto their carry that's super fed, and I'm like, oh, I'm totally gonna go in on this hook, throw my lantern back, and we're gonna murder this guy,
Yeah.
and then we die
Yeah.
because it would have been so cool. Would have been so sweet if we got that kill, right?
Yeah.
So it's just realizing when you're that behind, you have to play Thresh more conservatively because Thresh, he's just not a tank. He's been nerfed a bit. When he first came out, Souls used to give him like a lot of armor, and then you could just kind of build magic. Since then, it's been kind of scaled a little bit differently, so you're squishier than you think. I guess it happens to me a lot too. I think I'm tankier than I am, and then the shield doesn't. Look at like how much damage the shield from the lantern gives you. It's really not that much.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not, super tanky. So playing as a Thresh, you have to make sure to go in on the hooks that you know that you're going to be safe going in, and landing the hooks in a place where if you he landed the hook on the Annie, which is a great hook, but her team was right around the corner.
Yeah.
Not having that vision can really, take everybody out.
Yeah, I can. Alright, was there anything else either of you guys wanted to add before we cut the stream and go on to the next game?
I will not be here for the following games. I actually have to prepare for the Hearthstone podcast, so I will see you all later.
That's a good podcast I heard. Thanks for dropping by, Volum. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and cut the stream and go on to the next game. Speaking of the next game, it's already set up, and it looks like we already have... It's full. So, look at that. It's full. So we will be doing 3 games tonight. Game 2 is coming up. I'm going to cut the stream, and we'll be right back with you guys with some more Battle Arena.